Hello, everyone, and welcome to Monday, June 2nd, 2025. And I'm Bob, and right here with me to my side is one of the greatest elves that ever lived, Phineas TL.
Good morning, good afternoon, good day, everybody. How are you today, Bob?
I am having a fabulous day. Uh, Phineas, I couldn't ask for it to be any better. I'm just so happy to be here and to be cool. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I understand it's been kind of a hot and stuffy weekend for you, but
Yeah, we had some electrical issues with our breaker box that scared the living fiddlesticks out of us, but we had an electrician over yesterday, got that squared away, got our electricity back, got the AC going again, was able to put the shows together, and here we are, just merrier than ever.
yes, indeed, yes, indeed. That's
And I hear that your weekend was pretty good, but you've kind of been on a little bit of a hiatus.
Yeah, just a very low key weekend here. Got to keep Mike in order and make sure he's saving money because Mike's currently on strike at his place of work. So, just making sure he's keeping himself occupied and not bouncing off the walls too much around his house. So,
Well, and that's the problem, with Mike, you never know what that rascal's going to be up to or what he's going to be doing, and since you're the one that has to keep him corralled and there to make sure that well, let's just say he's a good boy, so we'll keep it at that.
yeah, I got to keep him on the nice list and got to keep him off the naughty list. Yeah, always important. So.
Well, it's so true. Looks like we got a good crowd joining us today, as always. We absolutely love Mondays because we have such a fabulous bunch of friends and colleagues that jump in with us on Mondays and help make this show what it is. Without them, the
Yes.
show would be really just a regular old mundane show for Monday,
Mhm.
mundane on Monday.
Yep.
So you know what? It is warm here today. We are 92 at the present moment in North Texas, sunny, and of course, we're in that pattern still where any day we could have some severe storms, and we do have those in the forecast tomorrow, especially. So it'll be a day that we'll be watching the skies and watching our weather radio and our TVs to make sure that nothing slips in behind them.
Yeah. Well, it's currently 73 degrees here, and it's been quite sunny. And we're looking at storms where I'm at on Wednesday. So that's going to be, we're just keeping an eye on the skies and making sure that everybody is safe and taken care of. So that's all
And
we.
you are right, Mitch Allen. It is summer, and we're expected for it to be hot. Mitch lives here in North Texas, and he has to, put up with the weather like we do. The seasons and the heat, the rain, the storms, the whole nine yards. Hello, Sean. Hello, David Earl, Bill Gorbett. Betsy is with us also.
Mhm.
We mentioned Mitch Allen.
Yeah, we got
Avon over on YouTube is with us. Who else we got on here?
we've
Phineas.
We've got Santa Doug
Yep.
from Illinois. We've got Chris Elzinga from Northern Ontario. Good to see you, Chris. Betsy Modzieski is with us. The spirited Mrs. Claus and the Tooth Fairy. So we've got quite a good group. Ooh, Dr. Bruce is with us as well. Hello,
Bruce,
Dr. Bruce.
Good to have Dr. Bruce always. Kane Smith has joined us. CJ Charlie Johnson's on with us.
Yep.
Of course, we have our Angela Mack over here in the corner doing her job as always. She's the one that makes the rest of us feel good about ourselves because she always treats us good and makes sure that we're doing the right thing when it comes to these shows, and we love that.
Yeah. Paul Anderson from Mike's Neck of the Woods is joining us. We also have Ken Smith as well as Kane Smith, and Diane Veen is with us as well. So good to see you, Diane. How are you today?
Hi, Diane, how are you? Right, you know what? On Mondays we have a special segment that we like to run, and that is brought to us by Santa B. He is our team member here at North. Boy, am I getting that messed up here at Bob and Phineas on Mondays. I got so much going on, man. I'm getting them all confused right now. Anyway, let's jump over here and see what Santa B's inspirational video is of the day or for the week, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get my way out. Hold on a minute.
You said, hold on a minute.
Okay, here we go.
Ho, 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 and happy day, my friends. Santa B back with you here again today. And today, I want to remind you some things from Scripture. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. You know, those are important things for us to keep in mind, not just as Christmas portrayal artists, but as people. And what's really important is to take time and put our name in there and ask, are we patient? Are we kind? Are we all those things? I hope you are. Be blessed. Be well. Love you all.
You know what? He has such a smooth voice and delivers those messages so well. It definitely is inspirational. I know on my part it is, and I've heard other folks say the same thing.
Yep.
Just a great job by Rob. And as we've said in the past, we think highly of Rob. He's an excellent person and a great Claus, and we're proud of him.
And I just got a message from my friend Mike that it's Rob's birthday today too. So we'd like to wish him a very happy birthday. So
Good. That's always good to celebrate someone's birthday and to be able to share it here on the Monday show. That's fantastic. I like that.
yes, indeed.
Okay, let's go ahead and just get right into something, Burger. It's a good topic today. It's something that I think we'll all be interested in. So, Phineas, if you will, please, sir, you have the honors.
I will. So this week's Something Burger is with respect to those of us who are of an older generation who have had a wee bit of a disadvantage with respect to social media platforms and even using a computer and the internet, particularly YouTube. In today's world, a lot of social media networks, including YouTube, have become the norm for how we get our media, our entertainment. So the question is, do you visit or watch YouTube? If so, do you catch yourself using it more or less than traditional TV? And if not, what is it that keeps you from exploring YouTube and its content? Do you understand the way YouTube's algorithms work and the importance of subscribing to the shows and networks that you like, liking the videos, and also kicking in with comments? And I will also say the bell icon on YouTube as well. That is also very important as well. That's how you get notifications. So I will dive in first and say that for a lot of my informational viewing, particularly as someone who is a musician and performer, I definitely go to YouTube more often than not for up-to-date news, because following YouTube, I can get information about new techniques as a musician, new products for musicians as they are released versus how they come out. It used to be, we used to wait each month for a magazine to come out in the newsstands, and we'd go buy a magazine because, you wouldn't see a lot of information about certain topics in mainstream media or on the news or in the newspapers. So you'd have to wait till the specialized magazines come out each month. So YouTube has supplanted that, and also Instagram also as well. And as I said earlier, the importance of subscribing to your favorite channels that you get your regular stuff from, such as the Bob and Phineas channel or Tuesday Night Live show channel. The importance of liking the videos that you are interested in and interacting in the comment stream. And also, as a lot of people go, ring that bell, because that way you will get notified in your YouTube stream about the new videos as they get uploaded. So it's a good way of monitoring new content that's coming on the channels that you want to follow. So there's lots of opportunities. So it's really important that if you enjoy the Bob and Phineas Live on Monday show, that you go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. If you like the Tuesday Night Live show, go to the TNL Networks channel and subscribe. So there's lots of opportunity to ensure that you get the news you get informed of when our videos are uploaded. And if you like and subscribe, it helps increase our viewership as well. So lots of opportunities there.
Very well said, Phineas. And you know, we're creatures of habit. We get in patterns and we kind of get comfortable there and we stay there. And you know, TV has been a really big part of all of our lives. I mean, all the sitcoms, all the different informational, the news hours, the different things that the TV brought us throughout the years. But I find myself watching YouTube a lot more than regular TV. There are still a very few programs that I will watch regularly on the regular TV. But I'm like you, Penny. So I have found out where I can learn so much. It's so informational. You can pick and choose what you want to watch, when you want to watch it. And for us here on Monday and Tuesday, particularly Monday, it's reading. We brought this up. Our subscriptions have been really slow to come on Monday. Tuesday's starting to grow, but I mean, YouTube is it works in a certain way, as we said there in the piece that you just presented to us. The algorithms and the subscribe, the like, the comments, the notification bell. Notification bell is really just for you to let you know if you do want to religiously watch certain shows at a certain time when they're uploaded. And a lot of these YouTubers try to upload at the exact same time, every other day, once a week, twice a week. Some of them get caught up where the editing portion is so daunting on these pre-recorded videos where they go in to edit. Sometimes they don't make it at that exact time. So with the notification bell, you know when that video goes up. That way, if you are interested, you do have a moment, you can go over and watch that. The subscribe, though, is very, very, very important because it does the way YouTube works. Let's put it this way. You get monetized off your subscriptions and a few other things that they ask you to qualify for before you actually can get monetized. Monetized can mean many things. It can mean having commercials pushed onto your channel, but that's not a must. You can decline those commercials. You can do your own commercials like we do here on Mondays and Tuesdays, which really doesn't bring us in any money. Although the folks who we do the commercials for has helped us in many ways. It's not a regular income stream, you might say. The other thing is the like. If you see a video and it only takes a second to hit like, how many times a day do you hit like or the heart or one of the emojis that Facebook had provided you for a comment that someone puts up? It's the same thing over there, except it counts towards pushing that content to more like-minded people. The algorithms in YouTube, they figure out a pattern. Of course, they watch us like everybody else does, and they know what we're doing and what we like and what we don't like. But the patterns that you may watch over the course of your day on YouTube or your subscription pattern also helps them what they call recommended videos to you, like type content. So again, the subscription is really important for a number of reasons. The like button again also helps push it out there. If you comment, it also helps because suddenly YouTube says, "Oh, wow, there's people engaging on this particular video. Let's push it and recommend it to others." So again, the more our content is pushed by YouTube, the more subscriptions we have, the more opportunity we have to reach those requirements that YouTube have to get monetized. Now, monetization, there's people that live off YouTube. Full-time job is doing videos weekly on YouTube, and there's quite a few I watch that actually make good money at it. That's a very, very small number of people that can do that. The rest of us are just trying to get a little bit of what we can to help keep growing our channel. Maybe someday we make it to the point where it's worth, something monetarily. But anything helps in today's society, especially for TNL Network and TNL Productions, TNL on the road, because again, we have expenses, and we're trying to do the best we can to get out into the Santa community and cover these events and let you guys. Hey, can't everybody always go to these events? So if we can cover it, you can sit at home and you can watch it. So and TikTok works similar the same way. I mean, all these platforms have, even Facebook is now monetized with your reels, your short stories. So keep in mind, and when we first found out that Facebook was going to start deleting our videos, I mean, YouTube is where we're going to have to house those videos to keep them archived for years to come. And it was hard getting folks to switch from Facebook to YouTube at first. Now we're about 50-50. Half of our viewing audience shows up each week, Mondays and Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, Thursdays, on the shows that come through and go through YouTube. So it is growing, but it's just something to think about, guys. We appreciate it very much if you can help us out anywhere you can. Let's go to the comments.
Okay, so Santa Doug says that he uses YouTube for information and training, but also he puts on 3D images with jazz ambient music to relax and just do stuff around the house. Very good for removing stress. I agree with you for that, Doug, because there are times when I'm just doing chores around the house, around the barn here, and I throw up, like a acoustic cafe channel or something like that and just listen to some music. So definitely. Santa David says he loves YouTube. He listens to several newscasts there a day. He finds the news more informative, sometimes deeper in depth in the stories, and also searching out training videos and responding and sharing with others. And that is the key with YouTube, is that you can share the videos, and sharing the videos also increases the engagement.
That's correct.
Because if you share it to Facebook or any of your other social media platforms and bring other people to come see it, the more you engage with the videos, the more the algorithm will go, hey, there's something happening here. Let's uplift it and get more people's eyes on it. So that is what is important, is to get engagement. Sean White says it's very appreciated when someone subscribes to our YouTube channels. It's free, and she then hypes up the Claus Connect. Bravo, Sean. So
yeah, and let's mention real quick too. It's not just the Monday show; it's the Tuesday show. It's Wednesday, the Kringle Brothers. It's Sean also on Monday afternoons now, on her new day, new time.
Yep.
And Santa Mel has her YouTube channel, so she puts her things on. So it's not just the TNL channel, even though we all are under the TNL network banner. That's how we're networking, is through YouTube and through some of the other platforms. So don't just subscribe to us, subscribe to all of our channels, because we're all in this trying to make our community better by sharing knowledge, sharing experience, and trying to give you that little moment of, oh man, I never thought about that, or wow, that's a great way to look at that. And we're teaching, we're sharing for free. So the least you can do is help us out and try to help push us along with YouTube, because it's a whole different ball game. It really is.
Kane Smith states that he watches YouTube more than anything else, and it's not even close. There's so much relevant information to be found, from Santa info to beard care to American Sign Language, storytelling magic, and even information on the Christmas history of Christmas and toys. And Chris Elzinga, Zinga Man, says YouTube is his main source for entertainment outside of the regular streaming services.
Sue, one popped up there for Sue. She says, let's see. Sorry, I'm late. Get home from work at 4 o'clock, and the big guy had a little surprise for me. Well, it wasn't such a little surprise. It was a pretty big surprise, considering he's a Maximus dog.
Oh, dear.
Sue, that's funny. That is real.
I'll loan you my shovel soup.
You can dig deeper.
Angela Mack says that YouTube is all she watches as well. She never watches anything on cable unless it's football or hockey games. So
That's what I mean. There are still some things, and even with NASCAR has started broadening out into the other platforms. As you may know, if you're a NASCAR fan, this week's program was not on regular TV. So, I can see a place in the near future where regular TV just pretty much goes by the wayside, and YouTube may be that next big place that everybody hangs out at because again, you can do it on your own time, watch anything you want to when you want. The recommended videos, I find myself subscribing to more and more and more channels because they recommend something. And I'll say, well, heck yeah, I like that. I got to watch some more of that. So I'll subscribe. That way I've got their channel, name in my subscription list, and it's easy to find. I mean, it's just like any other directory.
now, what's important is that people are kind of questioning about the importance of monetization. But you need to realize is that the Tuesday Night Live network gets a lot of requests. Why aren't you at this event? Why aren't you at this event? And why aren't you at this event? It all requires money for travel, for gas, for hotel, for other expenses. So it's important to understand that when the TNL networks folks attend these events, it costs money. So we need to be able to ensure that is taken care of to make sure that there is enough funds to go around. And yes, we do have the sponsors, and we are grateful for the sponsors. But at the same time, if we can get the YouTube channels monetizing, Facebook monetizing, it will help. Every little bit helps, basically, and that's what we're hoping for. So.
It does, and even things like the stuff that Spangle is trying to do on his side to help us.
Yep.
We've got a slush fund that we started, and things like this right here, these little tumblers. I know that everybody's got 1,000,001 tumblers, but you don't have this one. and I've got to say that I'm proud. I'm proud of where TNL, the whole platform, all the shows, all the hosts of all these shows, the work they put in, and where we have started really growing at a lot faster pace than we were those first 3.5 years. The second half of last year, we saw phenomenal growth. This year, we have doubled in growth, but it's still just not enough. I mean, YouTube put such a regulation on what you have to do to be qualified for monetization that it's just going to take more. We need twice as many subscriptions as we've got right now to get to that point. The only other thing that we fall short on, we've got plenty of viewing hours. It's not that folks aren't going over there and viewing our videos. We've got the viewing hour requirements, but it's the other little things that takes a second to take this and click it.
Yep.
And that makes all the difference in the world, just making that click. It doesn't cost you anything unless you hit that notification bell. It's not even going to tell you nothing. I mean, you're just, again, it's just there for your convenience. So think about that. But I am proud of where we've been. We want to go to Michigan. Michigan has the Mouse Guys have several great events every year. They put on more educational and fun retreats than anybody else in the industry. We want to be able to make it back to Gatlinburg and the ISC when they have it. We want to go to Lancaster. We want to go to Forbes. Now, luckily, we have finally started getting noticed by folks outside of our small little niche that you might want to call us. Our regulars that watch us week in, week out dedicatedly, and we thank you for that so much. But Forbes noticed us, and they said, we want you, TNL, to come cover our full convention. We want you to cover it from A to Z. And here's what we can do to help you get here. Now, they are helping us a little bit on their side, but it's the travel and the rooms between now and there, because you're not going to get there. It's a 26, 28-hour drive from where I'm at, and Scott's 4 hours north of me. So, so we've got that comes out of our pocketbook. And we've been noticed by other larger events that says we want you more involved. We don't want you just to go in the vendor's room and have a booth. We want you to broaden out. We want you to come in and cover not the complete workshop, because with intellectual property and all that kind of stuff, we don't want to encroach on anybody's stuff and put it out there unless they want to. But with their blessing, we would come in and cover 5 minutes just to show you what that workshop, a small portion of that workshop would be, where next time you go to one of these events, you'll say, well, hey, I saw a little clip, on Monday or on Tuesday or on Wednesday from, the people over at TNL, and we want to make sure we go to that workshop next time. That looked really interesting and informative. So anyway, I'm gonna stop harping. We
Yep.
appreciate you very much. We love everyone. Just love you to death, and we thank you for everything you've done for us. Let's keep growing, and let's do it together. We're a team. We're a partnership. Not only all of us that's in front of the camera, but all you folks that are behind the camera. We couldn't do it without you. As I said in the beginning, we thank you so much. Bless you.
So if you like what you see, click subscribe in YouTube, ring that bell, and fill in your comments in the comment field. So engage. So
And David has a good point there. And you and I have talked about this many, many, many times. And we don't know if it'll ever change. We don't know if the change is on the horizon. We wish that it would. We feel that it's unfair to be penalized because of where you live. But he says, as for us Canadians, it's the exchange rate to come to these conferences in the USA.
Yep.
Y'all's exchange rate to the dollar is what now, Phineas?
A US dollar costs $1.40 Canadian right now. So
There you have it.
Yep.
40% higher.
Yep.
So, for them, it's even worse. I mean,
Mhm.
and we would love to come to you guys' neck of the woods and maybe cover one of your, one of your gatherings, one of your tea time or whatever you're having up there.
Yep.
It may be a small event, but it would be fun to get up and get that out into the YouTube world, into the world of Facebook, into the world of the Santa Claus community, Mrs. Claus community. Because again, TNL was formed under the need for coverage.
Yep.
This industry is only going to grow, not only for the vendors, not only for us as entertainers and performers. It's only going to grow if people know about us.
Yep.
How many times do you run into someone on the street and they recognize you as Santa, but then in casual conversation, they ask a question to the effect of, where do you work? Or how can I hire you? And then that conversation leads into, well, how many folks are there in the Santa community that portray Santa or play Santa, as they like to say?
Yep.
And it's because they don't know about what we do. Now, some of our stuff needs to stay guarded because of the age of some children and how it might affect them, as far as knowing that there's hundreds of Santas across the country. I think most children are old enough nowadays and more mature than we were at our age, especially. But we understand Santa can't always be everywhere, and there are events that Santa's helpers go to. And so, if you portray yourself, put yourself out there as the real Santa, and you can pull that off, more power to you. If you put yourself out there as a Santa helper and it works, more power to you. Each to his own on how you deliver yourself. But just think about the fact that nobody was covered in the Santa community. TNL saw that. We said, we need something like this. I saw this in racing arena. Actually, where this all started was I saw the same thing in racing. Local racing didn't get any coverage. Once in 3 or 4 years, you might get a small piece in one of the newspapers on the back page because they was having a big fireworks show for the 4th of July. And but the coverage wasn't there. And finally, we started seeing it growing through photographers, which again, photographers is a big part of the Santa community. And let's help those folks out. They work hard to get those pictures of us for the families. I mean, they're just as important as any of the rest of us. Our vendors are just as important as any of the rest of us. We are a complete family, a complete team, and all of us together are an industry. And we need to start looking at it more like an industry. And how can we? You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Let's put it that way.
Yep. And
okay.
Santa David says coffee with the Clauses is the event. Yep. I was hoping to take some video of coffee of the Clauses, but Mike was really busy actually running the event. So Carl White says, so you want to go to Canada, eh? Carl, good thing that we do have a Canadian affiliate with Tuesday Night Live. We might be able to convince him to do some coverage of events. Chris Elzinga says, Canadians need more events for ourselves. And Chris, I agree with you that we do need more events for Canadians. That's why I worked with Mike to host Coffee with the Clauses for the past 3 years. That used to be the regional municipality of the North Pole annual gathering. It's been on the go for 21 years now. And I do know that there's a West Coast group of folks in Vancouver as well. What we need is the Canadian guys to come out and support these events. Coming up in July in Niagara Falls is the World Santa Claus Congress, and that's just a social gathering of folks from around the world. There's people who come from Finland, from Norway, from Denmark, from Japan that come to the World Santa Claus Congress. If you want to wander around in Niagara Falls heat and humidity in your full reds, awesome. It's can be a very fun event. So I may be talking to Peter and Cheryl Boxall about getting some coverage from TNL networks for that. I may see if Mike can take some time and go visit with them. We shall see. So.
And there again, Phineas, anyone within the TNL family that is at any of these events, if you want to pull your phone out and grab some coverage of it and bring it back to us, we'll put it out. And speaking of that, I'm kind of going to turn the page here and walk away from this here. Yep. But I do want to mention exactly what I just mentioned now. Santa Doug came to us, and before I go there, let me go here first. Santa Doug, we was talking about the ambient music or the noise cancellation, or the different videos that you can get over. Many of you may have seen. If you haven't, go over and find it. But Santa Doug put up a little short promo for Phineas and Bob yesterday with the fireplace crackling and the wind blowing, and it was quite soothing. And I've noticed it has gotten a ton of views on the view counter. So thank you so much. If you've watched that, if you've watched it more than once, thank you twice, or however many times you've watched it. It was pretty cool. Santa Doug is not officially with us to say in the TNL, but he is with us in the TNL by helping us out on some things promotional wise, and that was one of the things he did, and we want to thank you, Doug. Also now, jumping back into tomorrow night, actually, we will have about a 10-minute special video coverage of a event that happened this week that Santa Doug covered for us, and Doug will be joining us tomorrow night for a short 10-minute drop-in special report. Let's put it that way. And I think it's one that is really tugs at your heartstrings, and you better bring a box of tissues with you if you're soft-hearted, because Doug has run into something that's very, very important and needs to be put out for everyone to see. We'll talk more on that tomorrow night. Phineas, are you ready to go ahead and let's jump into that closet and see what the question is today?
Definitely. Let's run some.
All right, let's see if Angela can put up our lead in, and we'll be back on the other side.
Hey everyone, Angela Mack here for Bob and Phineas Live, the show about nothing. Season 4 of Bob and Phineas is brought to you by santascloset.org, where you can find all your accessories for the discriminating Santa, Mrs. Claus, and the elves. Visit Santa Wade's website at santascloset.org today, where they are known for delivering unique, value-packed Santa and Mrs. Claus accessories since opening in 2004. The goal has always been to provide both a superior customer experience at a tremendous value. Their products are fairly priced, and Santa Wade strives to bring many different products to the Claus community. Visit the website and make your next season a truly special one. This is Angela Mack reminding you all to catch our show every Monday at 3 p.m. Central, presented by TNL Network Productions. Thanks for watching. Now let's get back to Bob and Phineas in the TNL studios and today's Monday Santa's Closet Trivia.
That's one that popped up during the promo there from Paul Anderson. And yes, Paul Phineas is got his summer casual on today, and he is ready for Niagara Falls.
Yes, indeed. So today's trivia question is a children's book fun day trivia. And Mole and Ratty have found one of Mole's old homes and have settled in to spend the night. A group of field mice turn up to sing to them before being invited in to share a feast. What is the name of the children's book that this scene comes from? Who is the author and what year was it originally published? So once again, Mole and Ratty have found one of Mole's old homes and have settled in to spend the night. A group of field mice have shown up to sing to them before being invited in to share a feast. Which book did this come from? Who wrote it and what year was it published?
Got a little children's book right there, and I think that will be one that be easy enough to find if you just put in the right keywords there. Okay, y'all work on that. We're going to jump into our video promo here. Now, quickly, we just want to say King, K-I-N-G, Risk, R-I-S-K, Partners, formerly known as Talbot Insurance Services, will now be known as King Risk Partners. Talbot is now Vice President and King Risk Partners, and King Risk Insurance and Larry teamed up to become King Risk Partners. So let's play the video.
Well, I pushed it.
Didn't play?
No, let me push it again.
Okay. And we want to say thank you to King Risk Partners. Not that Larry didn't already have the purchasing power, but King Risk gives them even more. So nothing's changed as far as coverage. Santa, home, auto, whatever you want to do, they'll bundle it and they will make you an excellent offer. Reach out to Larry. In that promo, we've also added the 2 numbers for our King Risk office and direct numbers into the office, or you can still call Larry on his cell phone as you have in the past. Also want to say thank you to Caboose in El Paso, Joey and Priscilla Sanchez. 4 generations of boot making there, and we want to thank them so much for their contribution towards helping us here on the TNL platform and network of shows. Again, we're doing better on this end, but it's the travel that that we're growing into that's going to take a little extra, a little bit more.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. ECN, Elf and Chatterbox News this week. Just want to jump in and remind everyone that North Pole Cornerstones 4-day classes for 2026 is moving and will be held in a centrally located Oklahoma City North. Hilton Garden Inn and Conference Center, 2833 Conference Drive, Edmond, Oklahoma City North, February 12th through the 15th. Now, we do have in our room block an excellent rate. I might say a lot better than we had last year in San Antonio. The room block runs from Monday through Monday. So 7 full days. You want to come in a couple days early, stay a couple days late. The classes themselves are February 12th through the 15th. Our cost this year is $459, but take advantage of our registration special. That's right, we have a special. When you pay in full, there is a $25 discount per person. That would be $50 for a couple. This deal ends though on August 1st, and this discount is not available with the $100 deposit option. So to get that discount, you have to pay in full at time of registration. Okay, Phineas, over to you, my friend.
Up on September 18th to 21st, 2025 in Schaumburg, Illinois, which is in the Chicagoland area, Santa Nana Holiday University. Join Deanna Golden and Judith Broderick for Santa Nana Holiday University. That's not just for Mrs. Claus's, but that's for Christmas performers of all stripes. This was the event that was rescheduled from early in May, but you have a chance to register and attend Santa Nana once more, September 18th to 21st, 2025 in Schaumburg, Illinois. And coming up in 45 days, in Branson, Missouri, July 17th through 20th is our friend the Clown, School of Santas 2025, featuring their keynote instructor, Lee Andrews, as well as our very own TNL Networks, Sean, Mrs. Claus Vintage White. So definitely, if you're interested in really good educational, join Sean White and Lee Andrews in Branson, Missouri. And Spangles always has all sorts of surprises and entertainment, and of course the famous cobbler. So
You know, Phineas, it was already action packed with Spangle, but somehow or another he figures out to add new stuff each year. Now, it kind of became a must where a lot of folks started coming in a day or two early, as we talked about it earlier, about coming in a couple days early, staying a couple days late, make a vacation out of it. Only cost you once to travel that way. You get there, you take 2 for 1, you take your classes, and you also get to see some sightseeing while you're there. And he has got us lined up doing something every night. We roll in there on Monday, and every day and every night. I mean, it'll be action packed all the way through that week for those of us that are with the team. And if you happen to come as a participant, get there early. You're also invited to come and join in on the eats that he takes us to and the shows that he has set up. It's for everyone to enjoy. Odie doty. Let's talk about tomorrow night's show here real quick. Tomorrow night we have Trish Biznicki, Mrs. Claus, the Evergreen Queen. Boy, I have trouble with that. That's kind of a tongue twister. And she has a very exciting and special announcement to make tomorrow night. So don't miss that. Trish Biznicki, the Evergreen Queen, tomorrow night on TNL. Also, my add that Santa Scott will be in Texas tomorrow, so he's probably going to drop by the studio and be here for our broadcast. That'll be something fun. It's always a crazy time. Always a crazy time. Now then, are we ready to do some digging deeper today, Phineas?
I do believe we are.
All righty. Angela, over to you, my dear.
So over the past few months, we've been talking about our friend Admi the Yeti. Hi, Admi. How are you? Doing good. But Admi has taken some time off. She's been getting used to who she is as a character, as a persona, and also learning how to work with some of the other denizens at the North Pole. And that's going to be the next step that we take when we're developing a character is how the character interrelates with all of the other denizens at the North Pole, because everybody has a specific role. We've got elves, we've got the jolly old elf himself, Mr. Claus, we've got Mrs. Claus, as well as all the reindeer and their characteristics. And yeah, I know, there's a lot of really strong characters at the North Pole. So when you're creating your character as a Christmas performer and doing your character development, you've got to understand how that can impact the other people at the North Pole. So, for instance, when I created Phineas, Phineas the Grumpy Elf, people kind of understood that Phineas was kind of a grouch, but sort of like a lovable grouch, so to speak. And so, how does that interrelate with the other characters? So I'm beginning to take a look at how Adme, the very shy, very nervous Yeti, will interrelate with the other characters at the North Pole. And, will she be scared? And she'll be kind of timid with Santa, because Santa is a very important person, which is going to be interesting how she's going to work with Santa, and also with the different Santas that I as Phineas work with. So because each of those Santas have a different character. At the same time, she's working quite closely with Mrs. Claus in the business end of things, in the offices. And so what is that relationship going to look like, particularly as she's fitting quite nicely in the offices. She's doing quite a bit of help, particularly in the weather center, and doing that. So this is where you begin looking at how the relationships are going to work. So Phineas and Adme's relationship are that of sort of a mentor and a mentee. So Phineas is definitely the mentor and just, helping Adme get used to being in the North Pole, because initially, Phineas was the one who found her and brought her in and made sure she was safe. So what our relationship looks like is sort of like a mentor and mentee kind of relationship. So Phineas is going to be making sure that she feels safe and supported, and also, correcting any problematic behavior. Well, I know you've been pretty good, haven't you? But there might be some issues where there's a bit of a culture shock or definite type of situation. So when you're creating a character, you've got to understand how your character is going to interrelate with everybody else at the North Pole. This was evidenced when Bruce Kotovich, myself, and Mrs. Claus Vintage got a chance to work with the Tooth Fairy, and we began exploring how the Tooth Fairy was going to fit in with the North Pole characters, and also how our relationship with the North Pole characters and the Tooth Fairy were. And so it was determined that Mrs. Claus and the Tooth Fairy were, dear old friends that went back quite a bit. And Santa definitely respected the Tooth Fairy and was really concerned about her safety, because there was a winter storm that was coming through at the North Pole at the time. So understanding the backstory allowed us to build how our characters are going to interrelate with one another. So when Phineas interacts with Santa and Mrs. Claus, he's interacting with them as both co-workers, so to speak, and also because they raised Phineas, he treats them deferentially like parents. At the same time, when Phineas works with other elves, because he's bigger, he can be kind of imposing, and he's trying to avoid that, and not be a bully or not be perceived as a bully. But at the same time, Phineas also wants to make sure things get going right. So when you see how the character development affects your interactions with others. So if we're stuck working with a mean green guy or a Yeti or a snow person, it provides a framework with your character, who you are as a Santa, who you are as a Mrs. Claus, who you are as an elf, to interrelate with that character as well, on a character to character basis. So it will also allow you to how you interact with the public at large, because anytime you are out in public and visible and able to be seen as Santa or Mrs. Claus or the elf, you've got to be able to provide that character on the spur and learn how to interact with the children as that character. So particularly if you are someone who has more leeway in how you interact, like an elf does or a Mrs. Claus does. I mean, Santa is a very defined character within a certain extent, but everybody has their flavor. So developing a character is a framework with how you can provide further interactions with the public, with the other characters and denizens of the North Pole. And it will also allow you to continue to tell your story as that character and interact with others. And if you choose to work with other characters, non-human characters, such as puppets or whatever, it will also allow you to be able to work with them and understand how they work. So you will see here that my subtitle here, Phineas T. Elf, Reindeer Wellness Coach, is part of the story that Santa David Milmine and I are telling, that we have opened up a reindeer wellness center to make sure that all the reindeer are tip-top shape, that they're in good health and good kit for the big journey, and also make sure that there's ongoing health and that their physical well-being and emotional well-being is taken care of. So Phineas has become the reindeer wellness coach. So that is all part of his character development and how he interacts with everybody else, and also helps drive our story forward as we move on and continue into the new season. And as Phineas is continuing on towards Christmas in July and Christmas in August events. Thank you very much. Thank you, Admi, for joining me, and we look forward in working with you further. Thank you.
Well, there, my thoughts on this is, folks, if you've been following along Phineas and the development of the Yeti from week one, you will see how easy it can be, but how complex at the same time you can make your backstory, and how character development has really become a very important part of portrayal, entertainment, performing in the Claus community in so many different ways. But puppetry, I think, is one of the fastest growing areas in our community. There is such a great benefit to it. If for nothing else, it really softens the fear of so many children. Puppets are just naturally, children are drawn to puppets. And
it doesn't have
there's
to be a puppet. So we've got the baby Yeti here, and the baby Yeti is someone who's quiet and friendly, and we are able to even just something simply like wave the hand, pretend you're bashful, smile, whatever. So there's lots of opportunity. I use the baby Yeti. I've also got a polar bear that I use, and a baby reindeer that I can use as a little icebreaker, particularly when I'm doing the hospital work or the nursery school work, because it's a quiet, gentle way of providing an introduction to Phineas and Santa and bringing them in, as opposed to being this big imposing character. So yeah, there's plenty of opportunities.
Now, I also heard, Phineas, that Baby Yeti is a great hugger and loves to give hugs.
She is a great hugger. She loves to give hugs. As you saw, her hand is movable as well. So lots of ways to give hugs. Little tickles or a little coochie under the chin and stuff like that. So all sorts of opportunities. So
all the fun things that children just go giddy over.
Yep, and big kids too.
Yeah, big kids too. Fantastic segment, Phineas. You have really knocked it out of the ballpark on this series, and I just can't tell you how much it's added to my knowledge, but to the Monday show as a whole, really has added some depth to it that, again, we haven't had in the past, and opened your eyes up to something new. We love that. Okay, so we've got a few comments here I want to catch real quick. Sean White says, we are going to have so much fun in Branson. Sean, we sure are. It's always fun, and this year will be no exception. And I just might want to mention, too, Branson, our MC in Branson for School of Santas is Santa Mel.
Yep.
And she, of course, has a alter ego known as Elf Noel, spelled Noe. And folks say, why do you get Noel out of Noe? Because Noe has no L.
There's no
Okay,
L.
no L. Sean also says, I've learned so much from that experience that it helps me give more to the children. I believe she's referring to the Norfolk Cornerstone segments with you, Dr. Bruce, and Betsy, and the
Yep.
Tooth Fairy. Let's see here. Carl White says, reindeer wellness coach. He loves that. That is great, isn't it, Carl? Hey, Phineas is always on his toes thinking, isn't he?
All part
Okay,
and parcel of who I am as a character.
Yes, sir. And it's taking you years to get there, but you are there. All right, let's go ahead and jump in our trivia answer, and over to you, Phineas.
Okay, so the question was, Mole and Ratty have found one of Mole's old homes and have settled in to spend the night. A group of field mice turn up to sing to them before being invited in to share a feast. What is the name of this children's book? Who is the author, and what year was it published? And of course, the book is The Wind in the Willows, written by Kenneth Grahame, and it was first published in 1908.
That's correct. And we had a lot of folks that got that right. You know, some of these trivia questions, you may have one or two, you may have a long period, 3/4 of the way through the show, when folks have got part of it or none of it. And I had a feeling today wouldn't be too bad. It was a good question. And you know, speaking of Carl White was our winner. Congratulations, Carl. Your name will go in the hat for the drawing for North Polk Cornerstones 2026 in Oklahoma City North Edmond. And then, of course, you'll get care package from Santa's Closet. And I don't know if I've got your shirt size. If I don't, send it to me so we can get that over and get your care package out to you. All right, let's go ahead and let's jump into our lineup for the week. Don't forget to watch all the TNL Network Production 2025 list of shows. I'll start off on June 2nd. That is this afternoon. You do not want to miss the Claus Connect with Sean White. She has a great program and a great guest lineup for you tonight. Where Stay Bearded meets Claus character. That is with Terry Colbert and Stay Bearded. You don't know who Stay Bearded is, you definitely need to watch. If you do know who Stay Bearded is, you definitely need to watch. It's going to be a great show. Even Phineas is going to watch because he's got some work to do with the Yetis. Make sure their beards are nice for their performance.
Lots of beard. Yep. The Yetis and the polar bears, definitely.
And we also mentioned tomorrow night's guest is Trish Visnicki, Mrs. Claus, the Evergreen Queen, with a big announcement. This is going to be a fun show. Can't wait. Oh my gosh, the script is crazy.
Looking forward to that because Trish is crazy enough as it is too. I can't
I'm known as a talker, but I don't hold a candle to that girl. She can talk, and she is so informative and so much fun. So look forward to that one. Phineas, take it from there.
Coming up on Wednesday, June 4th, is Kringle Time with the Kringle Brothers at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, and their show. And then on June 5th, Thursday night, is Santa's Magical Fellowship Group, and it's a special 2-hour show with the ladies from Cherry Hill Programs, starting at 6 p.m. Central. 7 p.m. Eastern. And I'm quite sure most folks have seen the ladies from Cherry Hill Programs and know what characters they are. They were the Golden Girls one Halloween show, I do believe, and they rock that. So there's a lot there. That's going to be quite a lively show, and you'll also learn what you need to know about Cherry Hill Productions as well. So there we go.
And they will be back for the Halloween show this year. They've already submitted, and they've got another crazy skit put together and characters for that. So they're already thinking ahead there. Now, many of you may have seen, if you have not, they do have a new Facebook group, separate from the others that they've had. But this one is set up more like they're going to be doing like a newscast. It's got news, it's got weather. It's kind of spin off of what we've been doing, but Cherry Hill's on version of it. It was quite entertaining. I watched it this week. Fun stuff. And so catch the ladies from Cherry Hill tomorrow night and see what they got cooking. Okie dokie. Trying to think if we've forgotten anything. I think we've got it covered pretty well, Phineas.
I'm going to answer Santa Doug's question. Santa Doug, have you ever shampooed a poodle? You know what they look like? Yetis are worse. Yetis are worse. And good grief, the smell of wet Yeti. Whoo!
Wait.
And I don't want
Put a clothespin on your nose.
I don't want a naked Yeti running around here. You know, they'll get cold, and you know, certain things will cut glass. They'll get so yeah. Okay. I see the clothespin there, Bob. I definitely.
I just happen to have one of them on my desk.
Yeah, you don't want to smell wet Yeti. I'm just going to say that.
Very good. Well, excellent show today. I really enjoyed today's show. After our electrical issues this weekend, it was kind of a tough weekend, and today has really lifted my spirits. Thank you so much, Phineas, for joining us. As always, knocked it off the out of the ballpark with everything that you've done today, and we'll appreciate the fact that you work so hard for us here at TNL as part of our family. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to Sean White. Be sure and catch her show this afternoon. Do not forget about that. Don't forget to catch the other shows, the Kringle Brothers again. Oh my gosh, Santa Males Fellowship Group. She has been really having some great shows over there this year. Again, she has stepped her game up with her guest in her program, all part of the TNL network. We appreciate everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a fabulous week and a better weekend. Gonna be nice, gonna be hot. Watch out for the bad weather rolling in. Phineas, thanks again, my friend.
Be cool, be safe, everybody. Take care.
Peace out. Love.